WRAL's Megan Cloherty is live at Reynolds Coliseum to get some answers. Megan?
Well, hey, Gerald, just imagine the feeling. You traveled all this way. You want to see your loved one get the degree they've worked so hard for. And you're told as you approach the Reynolds Coliseum, you can't come inside to witness that graduation. Well, that happened to hundreds of families on Friday night. And now NC State is apologizing to those families. It seems this whole thing was a planning oversight that just won't soon be forgotten.
WRAL anchor Megan Cloherty is in front of this very active scene that continues downtown near the courthouse. Megan.
Dan, they just opened up Fayetteville Street, so we took the opportunity to come to the alleyway where this all happened. This is the alley where the two attorneys were shot, and you can tell there's nowhere to duck here. There's nowhere to hide. If the shooter comes right up on you, there's nothing to get in back of. There were offices right along here. All of these people were able to see what was happening. A lot of the witness video and photos that we got and shared with you earlier came from the courtrooms up there with their vantage point down to this alley. One of the people who was stuck, locked down inside the Wake County Courthouse earlier spoke with WRAL's Carly Haynes, who's live just around the corner from me right now. Carly, I imagine that was a pretty scary situation for her. I sat down with Dr. Michelle Aurelius, who is North Carolina's medical examiner and has been for the last 7 years. She says a number of factors are at play here. First, there are fewer forensic pathologists to hire. Secondly, the opioid crisis and how it's straining the office. And the final reason is where they've seen the most change. According to this office's data, subpoenas are up by 53%.
Megan, the mayor says she will impose a curfew if necessary.
Gerald, we learned from the mayor today that all that takes is the stroke of her pen, and she can do it very, very quickly. It's not something that will take a few days. Here in Glenwood South last weekend, it looked very different, as we know. We have noticed there are fewer people than usual, but the police presence is definitely felt. Would you say this is delaying justice?
It is delaying justice.
Megan, you've been talking to some frustrated campers there.
I have. This is actually where campers check in when they first get to Jordan Lake. But you can see here in Chatham County, dead center of the red there, we are still under a burn ban. And they're making sure that when people check in, they understand that that includes campfires and grilling outside is a no-go. We did talk to campers who said, it's disappointing, but they kind of knew because there was a burn ban in effect throughout the state that this might be happening when they started their vacation. And they're okay with it. Step with me outside because here in Chatham County, they didn't see the rain that we saw in Wake County, in Orange County, in Durham in the last week. And you can tell just by looking at stuff. It's dry, it's wilted, they need more rain. Here in Zebulon, this burger place opened back in March of 2025. And in that time, the price of a pound of ground beef has gone up by a staggering 19%, from $5.79 a pound to $6.90 a pound, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That means, of course, a burger is going to cost more. So is running a burger restaurant. Back in these woods near Fletcher Park is where Ryan Camacho made camp, right across the street from where Zoe Welsh lived. Neighbors knew he was here. Raleigh police knew he was here. What everyone wants an answer to now is what's being done to keep this community safe.
And they also have to check any place they've been within the past 5 years.
Which suggests that that wasn't being done before.
It was not being done consistently.
And there was this moment where, she was talking about how, my daughter is also a victim. She has a voice, and she wanted to come today to talk to who she calls the bad man who hurt your daddy. And she said, well, I can't let you in that room with him.
Right.
But do you want to pass on a message? And the little 5-year-old said, yes, can you record me? So she plays this video of her 5-year-old addressing her father's killer.
If you could talk to the person who killed your dad, what would you say to that person?
Say sorry to my dada. I miss him so much.
Yeah? Does it hurt you that dada's not here?
Yes.
It's just really powerful. I've never seen something like that done in court. And in that video you saw, we panned the camera over so you could see Austin Thompson's reaction, stone-faced, as that was being read.
I have a question, and I think it's going to be asked after all of this concludes, is the injury that the self-inflicted injury.
Right.
Shooting himself in the head, does that take away his ability to emote? We don't know the answer to that question, but throughout this entire hearing, no matter who's been up there, he's pretty stoic.
Are you sending up prayers?
All day, every day, honey. Every day. Every day. A farmer doesn't pray, he don't need to be farming.
Perfect storm of challenges in downtown Apex has business owners considering closing their doors. The landlords are passing on an increase in city taxes and insurance by raising the rent.
And that's on top of the hit businesses are taking from a downtown construction project. WRAL Investigates Megan Cloherty explains what this could mean for the future of the downtown that prides itself on peak local charm.
In short, it means fewer mom and pop shops here in downtown Apex and more chains. Businesses tell us that it doesn't really make sense to relocate as rent is going up all across town, and it's leaving some businesses with no other choice but to close their doors. Jack Otepka is not having a good summer.
It's 11:31.
He and his wife are closing Alleyway Bookstore, the small business they opened more than 2 years ago, as a space for the community to connect over a love of reading.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you.
But a month ago, he got a text from their landlord about a rent increase.
And then he sent the number over, and it was 64% more than what we're paying right now. And with the construction out front and our business model, that's just not sustainable.
His landlord, Dorothy Sheeran, would not speak on camera, but texted a different number after we asked about the reason behind the rent increase. She says, quote, the 67% increase is a correct number, but that number reflected bringing it to market level in rent. He was never paying taxes and insurance before. She goes on to say it was actually only an increase of around 40% in rent. Echoing that sentiment, Tom Calhoun, who represents another Apex landlord, told us that rent is going up across town as building owners are facing escalating insurance rates, the increased cost of maintenance, and new, higher property taxes. On June 10th, Apex council members voted to pass a tax increase from 35.6 cents to 37.35 cents per $100 of assessed value. According to state records, the Sheehan's building, where the bookstore rents its space, is valued at $2.1 million, which equates to a $500 tax increase. Just a block down torn-up Salem Street, Cocoon Gallery has held this spot for 9 years.
Yeah, so this artist is a China painter.
But owner Cynthia Mollenkoff is expecting her rent to go up as well. After 2 years of downtown construction impacting her sales, she says it's bad timing.
And at this point now, we all thought we were going to get a little bit of time to recover from these 2 years, but now all of the, I can't say all, but many of the landlords are raising their rents.
Mollenkoff doesn't know how she'd generate more revenue without fundamentally changing her local artisan-driven business.
Is there a balance between whatever it is they want to make on their buildings and what the retailers can afford to pay? Can we work something out there?
That's the question Mayor Jacques Gilbert plans to ask.
So we have the town, we have the property owners, and then we have the business owners. So I sent a letter out and I posted it on my social media. Basically contains like what can we do together, understanding that they have rising costs and tax increases, everything. We all have it, but what can we do together?
Otepka is not optimistic that the mayor's effort will help, as there's no precedent of a city capping commercial real estate lease increases.
What will become downtown Apex if small businesses, mom and pop shops can't afford the rent? It happened with, a few other businesses here, and now we have shops that are national chains. And who knows what will be in this space.
Mayor Gilbert says so far there's no update on trying to reach a compromise with property owners. However, Apex businesses are hoping that they see an influx of foot traffic this summer that will help them with their bottom line. In Apex, Megan Cloherty, WRAL News. 100,000 people are coming down to celebrate the Hurricanes' win here in downtown Raleigh. But the question is, do you know how you're getting to and from home safely? Figure you'll just drive? Yeah, not the best idea. Thinking maybe you'll get here an hour before the parade starts. Well, then you're not going to get a good spot. You know what? Let's make you a hurricane parade plan. Okay, so you've got your Canes gear ready to go, but what else do you need to bring to the parade? Well, chairs and blankets are allowed. However, they can be kind of cumbersome, so you have to decide whether it's right tomorrow. Our weather team says it's going to be a high of 89 degrees, which is better than what we've been dealing with, but still on the warm side. So let's make a checklist of what you need to bring, starting with water, of course. Then you'll also need sunscreen, maybe a hat, your comfy shoes, because you'll likely be walking more than usual, a small bag if you want to bring one, and the chair or blanket. This is where the parade route starts, at the intersection of Hillsborough and St. Mary's Streets, and continues down Hillsborough. Here, let's show you. It goes for about a mile, taking a turn at the state capitol,
and ends here at City Plaza. Now, a number of these streets, including obviously Hillsborough, are going to close down early, starting at 3:30 in the morning. So keep that in mind. Okay, so how are you getting down here? As far as I see it, there are 4 good options and 1 bad one. Let's start with taking the bus. It's $2.50 for a day pass on Go Raleigh, but some of the stops are being skipped on Saturday because of the parade route. So you want to download either the UMO app or the Transit app, which will give you a live view of your route. Your next option is to bike. You can utilize the Greenway system to bike into downtown. Consider where you are parking and securing your bike, and it shouldn't be along the parade route directly. Also, you could rent. Bikes and scooters are available as an option, but they can't be reserved, so they may not be there when you want one. Also, the city set up geofencing around the parade route, so you can only take them in so far. You could also be dropped off. However, rideshare won't be cheap and you'll face traffic, but the city has 5 designated drop zones, which you can find on our website at WRAL.com. And the last bad option is parking. I say bad option because the city is discouraging anyone from driving downtown for the parade on Saturday, and with good reason. This is one of the 5 free parking decks that's available, but in total, they hold 25,000 cars, and there are 100,000 people coming to the parade. Plus, they already have this lot full sign ready to greet you. Now, we're already seeing fencing going up downtown and along the parade route. As far as security, Raleigh police say they're going to have more than 100 officers down here to make sure everything goes smoothly. And for families and groups, you know, everyone's going to be wearing red and black, so it's going to be easy to lose people. Have a place that you all decide to meet up just in case that separation happens. Raleigh police tell us they just want people to be respectful, listen to direction if they need to give it, and have fun. Reporting in Raleigh, Megan Cloherty, WRAL News.
WRAL Investigates. Megan Cloherty is here now after speaking with the mother of one of his victims. Understandably, Megan, she's outraged.
She is, and at his sentencing, Lisa Whitley forgave the man who killed her daughter. Now that he's driven under the influence yet again, she says he doesn't deserve another chance. We asked the district attorney if he agrees, and now there's an effort underway to increase his penalties if he's convicted. Sitting in the home her parents built in Wilson, Lisa Whitley has the audio on the nearby digital frame turned up. That way, she can hear Nikki's laugh. What do you miss most about her?
How she made me feel. Like, she could walk in the room and I could be having the worst day ever, and she would walk in and everything would be fine.
This is video from June 2010 on Raleigh Road Parkway, where 22-year-old Nikki Whitley and her friend, 25-year-old Amy Sullivan, were killed walking home after a night out.
And I will never get her back.
During his trial, prosecutors said Jimmy Coleman was under the influence of drugs and alcohol that night. He was convicted of double manslaughter and served 12 years in prison. He got out in 2022. Last month, Wilson deputies arrested Coleman for speeding and driving while impaired, with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.11. He paid the $1,000 bond and was released.
I think the laws need to be changed. If you get a couple of DWIs, you should be gone. You should lose your license forever.
Hey, Mr. Coleman, this is Megan Cloherty. Jimmy Coleman does not have a defense attorney listed, so I reached out to see what he had to say. He didn't call me back. District Attorney Jeff Marsigli says after hearing about our coverage, his team put forward a motion to raise Coleman's bond to $5,000, the max for that offense. A judge will decide in May whether he'll raise the bond. If Coleman cannot pay, the DA says he'll go back to jail.
I don't want to be angry. I want to just live my life and be happy. But I can't do that knowing he's going to kill somebody else.
Now, Coleman is no longer on parole, so he did not violate any of its terms. He learns whether he'll have to pay a higher bond at his next court date on May 29th.